For a while now, we've kind of gotten used to AI as a tool, right? You give it a command, it spits out a result. But what if that's all about to change? I mean, completely change. A new shift is happening, moving AI from just a passive assistant to a truly proactive partner. So let's dive into that.
Just think about that for a second. Right now, even the smartest, most powerful AI just sits there. It waits for you. It's like this incredibly powerful engine, but you always have to be the one to turn the key. This total reliance on us to get things started is the fundamental limitation we're about to see get totally blown away.
To really appreciate where we're going, we first have to talk about the problem with the AI we all use every day. You could call it the passive AI problem. So on one side, you have your prompt-driven AI. It's amazing for sure, but it's fundamentally reactive. It just waits for your command. But on the other side is this new model, autonomous AI. And this is proactive. It doesn't wait around for a prompt. It acts on a schedule, a trigger, a goal you've already set. It's got its own to-do list, basically.
And that brings us right to the solution, a whole new category of AI that's built to break out of that reactive loop. We're talking about autonomous agents.
Okay, so what in the world is an autonomous AI agent? Well, to put it simply, it's an AI that can handle these complex, multi-step tasks all by itself. But here's the real game-changing part. It does it on a schedule you set by directly controlling a web browser and using software just like a person would. No hand-holding required.
This is a really important way to think about it. We're shifting from seeing AI as just a tool, like a hammer or a spreadsheet, to something more like a digital colleague, a tireless employee, really, that you can hand tasks off to, knowing they'll get done 24/7 without you having to constantly check in. That completely changes how we can think about our workdays and even our businesses.
So, how does this actually work under the hood? Well, the magic is really in combining two key things. First, it can control a web browser. It uses accessibility features to see and interact with a web page just like you or I would, clicking buttons, filling out forms. And second, it does all this stuff on a schedule. That combination is what unlocks true autonomy.
And this just shows you how simple the workflow is. It's a true set it and forget it kind of deal. You describe what you want done in plain English, you give the agent the thumbs up to use a browser, you set the schedule, daily, weekly, whatever, and then you just sit back and get the results delivered to you. That's it.
Okay, that's all the theory. But let's get into the fun stuff. Let's look at some concrete, real-world examples to see how this actually works in practice.
First up, a classic business task that is just begging to be automated: lead generation.
Okay, so imagine this. You set up an agent to pop open LinkedIn every single morning at 9 a.m. sharp. It then runs a super specific search for you, grabs the contact info for any new leads it finds, and drops it all into a spreadsheet. And then, get this, it even drafts personalized outreach emails for each one. So you wake up, grab your coffee, and the groundwork for your entire sales day is already done.
All right, let's switch gears to something more personal. We've all been there, right? Applying for jobs can feel like a full-time job in itself. It's just endless, repetitive clicking and typing.
Well, with an agent, you can just dump job posting links into a Google Sheet. That's your only job. The agent keeps an eye on that sheet, and for every new link you add, it zips over to the page, fills out the application using your resume, answers all those standard questions, and then, and this is key, it updates your spreadsheet to show you which ones are done. It can even run every hour, so you're one of the very first people to apply.
And for our last example, let's get a little more technical. If you run a website, you know that little knot of fear in your stomach that something might be broken? Well, an agent can basically be your automated quality assurance tester.
So you could tell an agent, hey, every Friday at 3 p.m., log into my e-commerce site. It would then go through the motions, testing key functions, like making sure customers can see their order history, or that invoices are actually downloading properly. And at the end, it just emails you a quick summary report. It's like having a little QA robot on your staff, giving you peace of mind.
Okay, right about now, you might be thinking, hold on, don't other AIs already browse the web? And you're right, they do. But there's a huge fundamental difference in how and why they do it.
This table really lays it all out. Yeah, a lot of advanced AIs can do real-time browsing to answer a question you just asked. But that's where they stop. The game changers here, the things that make an autonomous agent different, are scheduled tasks and recurring actions, doing things without you even being there. And, critically, they maintain persistent sessions. That last one is a really big deal.
Let's just focus on that last point for a sec: persistence. What does that even mean? In simple terms, it means the agent remembers its login details. So if it logs into a site for one task today, it stays logged in for the next task tomorrow or even next week. This is what lets it handle really complex jobs that happen over multiple days.
So all of this, it's pointing to a much bigger picture. We are right at the beginning of a brand new era for AI, what a lot of people are starting to call agentic AI.
And this quote really captures the ultimate vision, the end game. The goal isn't just to automate a few little tasks here and there. It's to create a true generalist agent, something that can reason, act, build, and just continuously automate for us.
Which leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to chew on. As these systems get more autonomous, more capable, and more woven into our daily work, are we just building better tools? Or are we actually creating the very first generation of true AI colleagues?